I have been working in a tiny little space for weeks now, and I have learned so much, basically forgetting all I knew about portraiture and developing really simple ideas. A long time ago, I made a video about making any space your studio. Well, this is kind of a follow-up to this video. And if you are starting your journey as a portrait photographer, these simple backdrop solutions that I'm about to share, well, they might suit you. Talking about shaking things up, I never use backdrops. That said, I always rely on the characteristics and beauty of the locations I create my images in. So from large, big, inspiring places, I reduced my world to a small 15 square feet room, the kind of volume of space that you can almost find anywhere. The accessories that I'm about to share with you are all travel friendly, which means that you will be able to recreate this for any client almost anywhere. So let's start with the most obvious, the simplest, cheapest backdrop solution that you can think of for all your portraits. It's the black backdrop. The idea is to expose your scene so that your backdrop stays black, or at least fades to black. So basically, there will be no details in the background. So when you think about it, you can use almost anything as long as it's black as a backdrop. The only person that you have to convince that it will look good is your client. A black wall can work if you have one. Your curtains can be used as a backdrop. I have some at home. Or just a simple black cloth or fabric. I had this very long one that I used to use for my long dress photos. I also purchased these in my local hardware store. They are really cheap and they act like clamps. This allows you to fix this to anything, to a curtain rail, for example. You can also do like me. I use an old microphone stand that I never use. And back in the days, I used to tape a really light black cloth to my wall. Yes, it does the trick. To avoid having too much light on my background, on my backdrop, I sometimes use a flag to block the light, a bit like this little cloth here, that I attach sometimes directly under my light modifier. The beauty of this is that you can do it almost anywhere. This dramatic look, if you expose your subject correctly, you shouldn't have much to do in post. if you're that kind of person that loves to, you know, cut out your subject and do your background in post, then I don't even know why you're watching this video. Personally, yeah, I don't want to spend that time in Photoshop. I prefer doing everything in camera. The less time I spend in Photoshop, the better. You can also go white and use a white backdrop. The same rules apply, or almost. Of course, if your subject is close to the background with your light, well, the background will stay white. If your subject is further away, well, you will have to light your backdrop separately for it to stay white. That's all. Like always, it all comes down to what you are looking for, to the look you are going after. Personally, I'm not a fan. If I want a white backdrop, I will go for kind of a backlight situation where I will use one of my modifiers as a backdrop. But that's me. But if you have been following me for a while, you know that I've used in the past a white wall, a black wall, and even both of them at the same time. Now let's imagine you don't have a white wall, you don't have a black wall either, you don't have anything around you that can be used as a backdrop. No curtains, no fabrics, and you have a limited budget. This company reached out and proposed to me a cheap solution that may suit any starters out there. This is the whole package: a light backdrop, a darker one, and the stand to hold them in place. All of this in a small package that you can almost take everywhere with you. I'm not really sure this will stand the test of time, especially if you travel a lot and use it very often. But on the good side, it's really small and light, it has a really small footprint, it's really easy to set up, but honestly, I would only recommend this system to somebody who is starting out, somebody who takes really good care of his stuff, not like me. Another important thing that you have to take into account is that every time you will unfold your fabric, that you will unfold your backdrop, it will have creases, even though a lot of manufacturers out there will state otherwise. This means that a steamer will be necessary if you want a clean, really clean backdrop. And this is a downside. If you're looking for a system that is quick to set up, well, this might not be the one. If we take a quick look at the fabric and the stitches, it's pretty well made. I was still hoping a little more definition in the texture on the cloth, but this might be linked to the way it was printed, so I would have to investigate this further and compare this to other similar backdrops. In conclusion, if you have a limited budget, if you work in tiny spaces, if you need a system that is easy to set up and that you can bring occasionally with you on location, well, this system might be for you. If you wish to get your hands on one of these backdrops or on the entire system, I will put all the links, all the necessary links in the description box below. I will of course get my hands on other backdrops. I will test them, I will compare them, and after a while I will tell you which one I actually use in my work. My YouTube has been a mess lately, so thanks for being here and thanks for watching, and until next time, take care and please have a good one.